friends. Good to be back with ya. Let's talk about Moon and Venus in an opposition in the natal chart. So when we have this particular opposition, there's going to be some difficulties when it comes to getting our needs met in relationships. Because the ways in which our needs and our wants are applied are a bit out of balance. So we're going to end up seeing a lot of opposition from others regarding how we love, how we go about eliciting comfort or worth from relationships and emotional connections. Sorry, I'll try to not keep yanking on my cord there. An underlying neediness is projected with this particular aspect before anything else is said or done, and it tends to give the wrong impression or turn people away in the wrong direction. So it moving in too quickly, attempting to establish bonds that will tie the other person to us, trying to obligate people to us. This is a common behavior with this particular opposition. So it's important to learn to slow down and develop casual contact at a really appropriate pace so trust can be established, familiarity can be established at a more appropriate pace. People can generally sense the insecurity with this particular aspect, and it's off-putting. So this, it can be much too much, and it can lead others to view you as easy or having some boundary issues or not being as respectable as they would prefer. So there can be some hurtful consequences related to how we offer ourselves in relationships. And so there's a real challenge to learn how to value our own self instead of seeking others to fill that in for us with this particular aspect. So this lack of restraint in relationships, or sometimes moving too quickly or revealing too much or wanting to attach too quickly, that's tied to a deep need for security to come from the outside, or for someone to bring that or affirm that to us. And you often see people with this particular aspect feeling quite driven to put themselves in front of the public somehow, or seeking some kind of adulation or love, recognition for something that they do, or a talent that they have, or their beauty, something that they offer. And with this particular aspect, we're very conditioned, as with all moon hard aspects between Moon and Venus, conditioned to seek fulfillment and a sense of stability and worth through superficial means. So we need to develop our deeper connections, deepen our trust in others, deepen our trust, and consequently the length of time that we take to develop a bond that is real. We tend to jump the gun and not trust that if we, don't give, then we're not going to be able to keep them interested. So we're trying to avoid superficial relationships that end up taking advantage of us, or end up being very dissatisfying, or we end up figuring out that there wasn't much there. And we also have to get better used to being alone. There is no reason that you have to be alone in the big picture, but you have to get more comfortable with being alone on a more everyday basis, because it is not a familiar emotional pattern. Where people tend to get stuck is really in that same place of finding something that's not deep enough, or something that's where they're not connected on a true level. So we use relationships as a pacifier or a blanket. And most of the time we're going to use relationships or people as, that pacifier or that comfort. Sometimes it can be food, it can be expensive things. So it can be spending, it could be shopping. But everybody needs to outgrow those coping tools. Everybody has to one day give up their teddy bear. And that's really the deep lesson here, is maturing into better emotional patterns so that we can feel personally secure and supported by our own inner caretaker. Looking to elicit responses of care or attachment or worth from others by really putting our arms up and looking at them to respond to us with trusting eyes, that's never going to really work. You've got to come to a place where you're willing to give up your attachment to the need for others to take comforting care of you and to fulfill those immediate needs. And you will end up getting what you need eventually. That's the trick. But you have to be able to learn to meet your own need first in order for people to love you the way that you want to be loved. You won't, it doesn't happen the opposite. It doesn't happen to where we feel like, yes, I've had enough confirmation that I'm beautiful or loving or worth enough. Now I feel that. Now I can project that. It doesn't happen like that. It has to come from inside out, not from outside in. So unless you can learn to love yourself first, value yourself first, get comfortable with screening, waiting, discernment, possibly people leaving your life if they aren't right for you. Unless you can get comfortable with that, you won't get what you want. If you can love yourself first, you'll end up getting everything that you need. So it's becoming appropriately selfish. So the feelings of insecurity and lack, that will turn into true self-esteem. And the gluttonous side to this aspect will balance out, because oppositions imply balancing two seemingly irreconcilable things. We want to meet right in the middle. So with oppositions, we swing from one to the other, and then we get comfortable with having both at the same time. We lose that belief in opposites or in split. But you have to get comfortable with being in the middle. Balance is found in the middle, not drama. Balance, and then therefore stability, is found in the middle of the teeter-totter. And that's where we want to be. So I hope this was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com, Facebook, Instagram, other social media. You know the drill. And please find me over on Patreon and support me over there so I can make more videos for you more often. And I will be back super soon. Bye.